for women listening is you're exactly where you're meant to be. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing missing. There's nothing broken. And you can love who you are right now and still be evolving into who you're going to be.
And if you were to ask yourself, what would I love? Every step of the way, it'll give you insight into that giftedness, insight into your next step, insight into your fulfillment, and really what brings you joy. And to go do that in the world, because what this world needs is more joy, more women who are alive and vibrant and living a life that they love.
Hello, my extraordinary women friends. This month on Extraordinary Women Radio, we are continuing to introduce you to some of the incredible speakers who are going to be joining us at the 12th annual Extraordinary Women Ignite conference happening November 5th through 7th this year. Ignite is a gathering of women entrepreneurs who are ready to raise their voice, elevate their visibility, and build thriving businesses rooted in Soul+Strategy. It's 3 days of inspiration, connection, business growth, and possibility alongside an extraordinary community of women who are committed to creating meaningful impact in the world. You can get early bird tickets right now at camiguildner.com/ignite. Go out, grab your tickets today so you can be sure to be in the room. As we continue our Authority and Prosperity series, I've been thinking a lot about what it really means to step into leadership. Many women are leading businesses and teams and families, communities, and important movements in the world. They are creating impact, making decisions, and carrying tremendous responsibility. I know you know what that feels like. Yet so many still hesitate to fully see themselves as leaders. They question themselves. They wait for more confidence or more proof before fully owning the impact they are already making. Does that sound familiar? What if leadership wasn't something we earned? What if leadership begins the moment we stop waiting for permission and start trusting who we already are? That's exactly where today's conversation takes us. I'm joined by Jessica Jaramillo and Michelle Fournier, co-founders of Presario Group. They are transformational coaches and speakers, and they're dear clients of mine. I'm very lucky. One of the greatest joys of my work is watching women step more fully into their leadership and bring meaningful work into the world. And I've had the privilege of witnessing Jessica and Michelle do exactly that. Together, they blend neuroscience and personal development and leadership coaching and spiritual principle to help women create powerful shifts in how they see themselves and how they show up in the world. At Ignite, Jessica and Michelle will be sharing their presentation, The Leadership Shift, exploring why so many women lead powerfully without ever fully seeing themselves as leaders, and how hidden identity patterns can keep us playing smaller than our true capacity. In today's conversation, we're talking about identity and leadership and self-trust and what happens when women stop trying to earn their worth and begin expressing it. Let's welcome Jessica and Michelle from the Presario Group.
Oh, the countdown.
Well, welcome to Extraordinary Women Radio, Michelle and Jessica. I am so excited to have you both here today.
We are thrilled, believe me.
So great to be here with you.
Well, it's just, I love spending time with both of you, and you both have such bright lights, and you're both doing such amazing work in the world with Presario. And you're going to be at Ignite this year. You're joining us on the stage, and it's going to be a power duo between the two of you.
You go, Jess.
Well, we're just excited. We speak together all the time in our own events, but we've never done this before, speaking on somebody else's stage together. So we're excited to see what that looks like, and especially at your event, which was so life-changing for both of us last year. And I mean, it really, really was. I'm not just saying that. It was a pivotal moment in, I think, my personal life, but also in our business, both of us. And it's really shown in our business over the last, what's it been, 7 months, 8 months. Yeah. So we're just excited to be on your stage because of that too.
Well, thank you for saying yes and doing that. I wanted to start with a bit of your story. I want to start with how the two of you came together and how you came to do the work that you do.
Oh dear. Well, there were at one point, actually, I think the pivotal point was Cabo.
On the beach.
Like 2016, actually, where I had just left corporate America. And I was, excuse me, I was in a sabbatical from my relationship with my now husband, then on again, off again boyfriend. And I had retired from the military, just left 10 years of consulting, and was advised to take a break, and to go on vacation. Well, if someone tells me I need to go on vacation, okay, that's very easy. So I decided to go to Cabo. And then I get this text from Jessica, who I didn't know her very well. And she's like, if I show up at the door, will you let me in? And I'm like, holy moly, like there's another woman who wants to be my friend, who wants to hang out with me. Like that just really threw me in a tizzy. And so I eventually said yes. And so she came down and we had a blast, and we're sitting at a pool with a guy who was flirting with both of us, but I had decided, oh my God, this could be the guy. Turns out he had a mistress. And so we just started charging all our Cadillac margaritas to his room. And we were fed up, right? And I'm like, I don't know, somewhere along the way, I'm like, that's it. I want to do a retreat for women called Piss Off Perfect. And we said cheers. And then the rest is really history. Within a few weeks, Jessica's like, all right, I'm tired of you talking about it. Let's do this thing, or else quit talking about it. Well, if you know me, I'm a talker. I wasn't going to quit talking about it. So it's like, okay, let's do it. And our first retreat was born 6 weeks later. 6 weeks later.
Wow.
And
that's amazing. And I didn't realize it started with the retreat. I totally didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Well, Jess, let's hear from you on this side of it. So you go in this, you get this retreat going. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I was dabbling in coaching back in 2016 and doing some other things. And Michelle and I had just gone through a certification together, and that's how we really were getting to know each other. And we knew that we wanted to collaborate. And, so many people told us, you're both in the same business. You can't do that.
Oh, gosh.
And I was like, yes, we can. There's no competition. We don't have to compete with each other. Yeah. We can totally collaborate with each other. So I was going through a divorce, and Michelle went to Cabo, and that's when I was like, hey, if I come down, will you let me in? And it was so fun because we really got to know each other in a different way. And that's ever evolving still to this day. Yeah. And we came back, and I really didn't want to do retreats. It wasn't appealing to me to spend, however many days leading a retreat for women. And she was really passionate about it. And I was like, okay, let's do this. So we did it. And our first retreat was 24 hours? They got there Saturday morning and they left Sunday afternoon. So a little more than 24 hours. And at the end of the retreat, I was like, oh my gosh, we are not doing that again unless we have help. So that's when we started really building our support system and building our retreats and evolving our business. And I really chose into coaching full time about 4 years ago. And Michelle and I we are full business partners since then, not just collaborating. We were collaborating up until then. And it's, the rest is herstory, right?
Yeah. And I watch the partnership between the two of you, and it's so beautiful. You guys really ebb and flow together so well. I've gone to one of your events and seen you guys in action, which was beautiful. And it's been really amazing to watch your business, watch the two of you together in partnership.
It's so fun. And, partnership is like a marriage, really.
Yeah, totally.
I probably talk to Michelle more some days than I do my own husband.
And me, I talk to Jess more than Leaf.
And we have had our challenges, and we've overcome them by really choosing into the friendship, the relationship, and the partnership.
Yeah.
Because we joke that we both used to be runners. That was part of our baggage and our old patterning. And so when I would need to talk to Michelle, I would bring her into we had a office then, a physical office. I'd bring her into the conference room and I'd shut the door so she couldn't run away. But in those moments, in those really hard conversations, we really became more intimate as partners, as friends, on every level, and choosing that new pattern instead of the old pattern of running away. Because we both have done that in our lives, run away from relationships that weren't working. And so this has been a real growth opportunity for us.
And you guys have such strong experiences and training to be able to maneuver through that. I mean, I think your work is really magical and set up specifically well to be able to create strong partnerships. What do you feel like from a partnership perspective has helped you guys really succeed as partners?
You just said something that all the work that we've done has created, I don't remember your exact words. It's really interesting because I would say all the work that we have done before we got together and then started on this partnership, was more about helping us become aware and pointing out what our programming was or what wasn't working, right? And part of my on again, off again relationship with Leaf, my husband, was that neither one of us had healthy role models for healthy relationships. And so we had to figure it out. And I think what's really worked in my partnership with Jessica is that we're really good at recognizing what are the patterns that aren't serving us. And we were willing to work together to create new patterns. And so not only did it, and I'm already going to cry. Jess and I are always the first ones to cry at our retreats. Not only did that solidify a relationship and take us to a place every time of true intimacy and unconditional love, if you will, but it supported us in our marriages. And most importantly, it's because of what Jess and I have worked through that we've created patterns, processes, role models for our clients. And it's become a foundation of the work that we do, because what sets us apart is that there's personal growth work out there in a lot of different arenas that, like what we experience, are really good at going, all right, well, I know that's not working, or all right, I know that's a lie that I'm telling myself. But nobody ever taught me or taught us how to now move to the other side of that, to the place, a healthy place that works.
Yeah. And so you guys had to really do that, your own inner work, to be able to recognize it and then be able to know where to go with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Jessica, anything else you want to add to that?
You know, I don't remember your exact question.
Just how the partnership works. I mean, like, how have you guys been able to make this partnership work?
Through really learning how to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
And we're still learning that to this day, right? It's ever evolving, our communication and our listening, and asking really good questions of each other, and being willing to hear the feedback. I think Michelle and I are the people in our lives that give each other the feedback that nobody else probably wants to give us. Right. And
to be able to receive that, right?
And to receive it
with
and
love.
To know, I absolutely receive it with love, and know that it's not coming from a place of hurt or anything else. It's truly coming from, I want you to be better.
And I want us to be better.
I want us to be better. And this is what I'm seeing. And for us to be able to do that it's not always easy. Don't get me wrong. It's not always easy. It's not always easy to hear. However, it's so important, I think, in any partnership or relationship to be able to do that with each other and not be offended and go to defending. It's listening and hearing, receiving, and then talking about it, and wise. Moving forward from there.
Yeah, so wise. So you guys have worked with hundreds of high achieving women. What is the biggest misconception women have about success? And how does that keep them from really creating the life that they truly want?
Well, the biggest thing, first of all, is I think two things. One, that women they're chasing success, right?
And you see a lot of that, right?
They're chasing it thinking, this is it. This is where I need to go. When I get there, then I'll be happy, or then I'll be fulfilled, or then I'll be, and the first piece of that is that women, when we ask them, how will you know when you're successful? It's like deer in the headlight, stunned. Like, what does success mean? Like, they've never even really stopped to think about that. Or if they have, it's usually somebody else's definition who's told them, this is what success looks like, and this is what you should be doing.
Nice. You want to add to that, Jess?
Yeah, I mean, this is so good, Michelle. They're chasing ambiguity, and how will they know when they get there? And how will they know when they feel successful? Because they're chasing the circumstance of success versus knowing what it's going to feel like when they feel successful, or when, and that's different for everybody. So we just encourage women to really look at, like, what does that mean for you? How will you know? What is the feeling you'll feel when you're in that place of success? And it comes and goes, right? It's like one day I feel successful in all the ways, and then the next day I don't necessarily. And so it's like staying focused on that feeling and tapping into that feeling every single day, especially in the moments where it feels hard and there's struggle. And I joke that sometimes I drive the struggle bus around and ask people if they want to get on it with me. But when I remember, like, okay, this is the feeling I'm looking for, I get off of the struggle bus and really just tap back into, who am I as a successful woman? Who am I being? How am I feeling? And what am I doing from there versus what am I doing from the chase and the ambiguity?
And just to build off of that, just one more. Or do you want to add something to that, Michelle, first?
I just wanted to add one more thing that and I think I'm speaking for both Jess and I. that most of the women that we work with, when you ask them what success looks like, invariably the image, the answer, the projection has to do with career and money. And they just leave out all the other delicious parts of
the
life.
important parts of life. Yeah. So really looking at life holistically.
Yeah.
And there's usually so much to be, blessed with. And when we start looking at all aspects of us, one thing that does happen, and Jess, I'd love for you to kick this off, is that women, we all outgrow an old version of ourselves. How does a woman know that, she's really started to outgrow that woman who she's been and ready to step into this next evolution of her?
I love this. I love this question because, Michelle and I have really stepped into this idea that we do really deep identity work with women. And I think for me, when I've known and I'm ready to shift into a new identity, is I start feeling a longing for something different. There's more for me. And what is familiar right now starts to become constrictive. So I'm the feeling person, and I'll always reference the body. So if what is familiar to me right now feels constrictive in my body, if I'm feeling that in my body, then I'm like, okay, I start asking myself the questions. What am I longing for? What's next? What is the more? What is the shift that I'm ready to make into the next evolution of who I am as a woman? And it's not, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead in your questioning, but the shift is because our old identity is still there and it informs our new identity. And then I call this place the messy middle, where our old identity, because many parts of us do not want to change. Parts of us do not like change, and it's safer to stay in the familiar. We call it familiar instead of comfortable because most people aren't comfortable in their comfort zone. So it's the messy middle between the old identity and the new identity, and sometimes that can be very uncomfortable for people because it is unfamiliar, and we want to know all the steps. We had a lady at our last retreat, give me every single step.
Let me write them all down.
I know. I was like, I wish I had all the steps, but it's just allowing ourselves to grow into that next version of who we are and really staying in alignment with the truth of who we are.
Yeah. So beautiful. Michelle, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, that's so good, right? It's staying in alignment with the truth of who we are. I'm just going to do a plug for your equine journey retreat, Cami, that
you guys will be at next week.
Yeah.
A week from now.
So excited.
Homework. When there's like three different things I want to say. So first of all, whenever we're getting ready for a new, whether it's identity or a new way that we're living in the identity of who we've become, things will bubble up in our life, right? And either it's the things that come that are like, ugh, or those old programs, etc., that come up. And the opportunity, for many, many years, I was in the military, in the Army for 24 years. I was a critical care nurse for 35 years. And as I progress, people that know my history sometimes will bring that up. And that used to be such a strong identity. But it's no longer who I identify with.
Yeah.
Right. And so that was really enlightening to me as I was answering questions for you. And I think the opportunity is that even though there's several iterations of identities that all of us go through. There's a common theme of who we are throughout that.
Yeah.
And what worked in those identities is pretty much working now.
Yeah.
In a different way. And what didn't work in those identities got me through to this point.
Right. It helped you make the choices that you made along the way. I love to pull the thread all the way through, like from where we've been. So we're pulling these best parts of who we are at our very core and the essence of who we are. We're pulling those forward, and we're, like you said, we're making different choices. But as Jess said, it's the messy middle. When you start making those choices, it does get messy. But that's part of the beautiful journey that we're all in, and it makes it so magical. So to me, it's like this evolution of who we become, and we're always, the core of who we are is always the same, but who we're becoming is the next evolution of who we are and how we're supposed to lead. Yeah. So let's talk about leadership, because so many women do not claim the role of leadership. And, and it drives me crazy. I'm like, it's like they're leading in all the different ways. What shifts when a woman finally claims her leadership?
Everything.
Everything. That's right. Everything. Go ahead, Michelle.
There you go.
Well, this has been so top of mind for me really since your event last year. Asking myself, like, are we owning our leadership? Are we owning the impact that we're making in the world and with our clients and even in our circles? And I got to hold that mirror up for myself and for us, whether Michelle knew it or not. And I think that women, they are leaders. They're leaders everywhere. They're leaders in the community. They're leaders in business. I think it's something like 40% of businesses are now women owned. And the challenge is the women are still seeing themselves as the doers, the helpers, the givers, the supporters. And when they shift out of that and really embody their leadership identity, they're one, I think they're saying, these are the things I'm not going to tolerate anymore. This is what I'm no longer willing to tolerate. And when they embody that leadership, they start to see, well, hopefully they have to start to see, because they're embodying it, the difference that they're making in the world, the difference they're making in their families, the difference they're making in their business. And I think it becomes all the doing creates exhaustion. Women are just exhausted at the end of the day because they're doing all these things and not being the leader that they truly are.
So
right?
Good. So
and
good.
So I think when the women finally embody that, they start to set the boundaries. They start to say no. They say yes to the right things. And the exhaustion goes away. The anxiety goes away. The stress goes away. And it becomes like leading from alignment versus back to the chasing, leading from doing and supporting and giving. And we will always do those things because that's who we are. That's who women are. But just embodying that, like, yes, I am a leader. I'm a leader in my life, period.
And you do make different choices when you say that. And I mean, I can just think of, like choices in my own life that I've made when I'm standing in my strength and my power as a leader. I make different choices than if I'm not. So beautiful. Michelle, what do you have to add to that?
Yeah, I'm so glad we're recording this, because this is like good
Gold.
downloads,
Gold.
Right? It's gold. And the opportunity, what I love about women being leaders, and we're in evolution, is that we are beginning to, I hope, that women see that the way that we lead is different than the way that men lead. And it's doesn't mean it's better, it's worse. There's no comparison. But the power, right? That's one of the things, one of the tenets, the pillars of our business is that women step into their power. And our power as women doesn't have to be like, you know, standing up like the colonel in the army, right?
Yeah.
It's like just by being who we are,
Yeah.
and coming from the mother energy, and not the mother and actually having biological children, but that's who we are. We nurture. And when we stop waiting for permission, right? When we step into our leadership as women, we stop waiting for permission. We begin to use our voice in a way that's clear, that's calm, that's certain. There's no room for debate. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And then we stop worrying about whether we're making other people comfortable.
Yeah.
And if women get nothing else, it's like when we rise and we step into our leadership, it's not about what other people are going to think. It's that first and foremost, we give other women permission to do the same their way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so powerful. So at Ignite, you guys are going to be speaking about the leadership shift. Tell us a little bit about that, Michelle.
So the bottom line is, it's, what Jess was talking about earlier is that when we start seeing ourselves as leaders, and let go of the picture of what we think other people have to, how everybody has to lead, then everything shifts.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
And it's not just business, it's our relationships, right? My relationship with my husband totally shifted because I stepped out of the victim mode, and I took responsibility for what I wanted in the relationship.
Yeah.
And then when I did that, everything shifted.
Awesome. Awesome. Jessica, what will people walk away with from your talk at Ignite?
Oh, so good. It may be different for each woman. However, what Michelle and I do is we bring the awareness to the surface. So where are they now in seeing themselves as a leader? Are they seeing themselves as a leader? And then helping them shift that so that they really step from the question, am I a leader? Am I good enough? Am I, whatever, fill in the blank, to really embodying that leadership wherever they are, whether it's a business, a job, family, whatever it is for each woman, so that they walk out of Ignite really feeling embodied in the confidence of who they are, and that they make a difference wherever they are. Like, they truly make a difference when they show up as themselves, as the leader that they are, authentically. And I believe they will walk out of there feeling different about themselves, because that's what we do. We help women see the truth of who they are.
Yeah, I love it. And you both bring together neuroscience and coaching and spiritual principles. What have you discovered about the connection between our thoughts, our beliefs, and the results we create?
Everything.
Another good answer, everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
So our beliefs are our deepest values.
Yeah.
And they come from the thoughts that we think about the circumstances that we've navigated through.
Yeah.
And so those thoughts and beliefs create feelings that most women stuff down.
Yeah.
Or don't
Just
allow
pushing them down in their bodies.
Exactly. And then those feelings are what create every single result, the actions that we take or don't take, and then the results that we create in our life. Yeah. And I love what Jessica says, is that we will do or not do based on how we feel. And
Or how we think we're going to feel.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that's the bad rap that we get as women and that we give ourselves as women.
Yeah, and it's so easy for us to fall into those patterns. I mean, I went to your retreat that you guys had just recently, your 1-day event, and I know I caught myself in stories that I was playing too often, and it's like to shift those up really makes a difference. It's beautiful.
And
Yeah.
really, the one question that we love to remind our clients to ask over and over again that does have to do with feeling is, what would I love?
Yeah. Yeah.
What would I
And it's
love?
such a simple question that we don't ask ourselves enough. Yeah.
It
Jessica, do you want
is.
to add to that?
I do, because I want people to really hear this, women that are listening to really hear this, because like Michelle said, our thoughts come from our beliefs and then everything flows from there. But here's the deal, not all of our beliefs are true.
Mm.
And we've bought into the truth of the beliefs that aren't true. And not all of our beliefs are conscious. So we work with the unconscious mind, and the majority of our beliefs live there unconsciously until we bring them to the surface. However, they are informing our thoughts and our action, our behavior, everything. And so start asking yourself, is it true? When a thought comes up, this is one of my most favorite tools with myself and my clients. I mean, I talk to myself all the time, like, is that true? No. Thanks. Thanks for visiting, and let it go. But what happens is we get a thought from a belief that's not true about ourselves, and then that thought sticks with us, and then that informs our action, and we typically start avoiding action or not taking action or not thinking we're enough to take that, whatever it is, right? And so just start questioning what comes up for you. Is it
Yeah.
true?
Is it true? That's such a simple thing to ask ourselves. Is it true? And then we can get an answer off of that so quickly. So good.
Quickly, and then we can let it go and move forward.
Yeah, your guys' work is so magical. It really is. I have to sing your songs for you because it really is magical.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you guys have been a part of the Movement Maker Mastermind for this last 8 months or so, however long as we are in, not maybe, yeah, about 8 months. So how has that helped you guys in your business in Presario?
Oh my gosh. So, we're coaches, and we believe every good coach has a coach. And so being part of your mastermind, you know, we chose you to be our coach and to be in your mastermind because of how you show up as a leader and that essence that you bring into the room. You're powerful and graceful all at the same time. And we wanted more of that. We wanted to be in your presence and to NLP is all about role modeling success. And so we wanted to role model you in many ways. And the way you run your mastermind, it's deep, it's profound. It makes us look at things we don't necessarily want to look at, even as coaches. And you ask the best questions, you give beautiful content that's really supported us in the transformation of our business over the last 7 or 8 months. And it's, a big part of it for me is the accountability. Truly, it's not just, plugging in the accountability for the month, but it's like, okay, like we're putting systems in place in our business that haven't been there. And that's going to allow us to bring in more business and spend more time doing what we're really meant to be doing. And so it's like we are in the mastermind together. So we talk about it after and decide what we're going to do. And then we go and implement our things. So it's accountable to each other, but having the new awarenesses of like, this is what we need to do and who we need to be to step into the next place in our business.
Thank you. Thank you. Michelle, do you have anything else?
There's not much to add to that. The
Okay.
one thing that I would say is that I, I think the best way to go to a new level in anywhere in life is to ask a new question. And it your questions that you ask, we get answers, but then what happens, the deliciousness of Jess and I and the magic of us is that then that percolates.
Yeah.
And then we start asking other questions.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we pass on that to our clients too. So
Yeah.
the things that our clients can always count on is that we're always evolving as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And that's so important. It
I'm
really
really
is.
excited about Ignite this year because last year was our first time going and it was so magical and so amazing. And it's like, oh, just so excited to see
Yeah.
what the next level is going to be.
Yeah. Ignite. And that's one thing I love about Ignite is it does really open up the door for the next level for every woman in the room. And if you want to get your tickets, they're on early bird tickets right now. So you can go to CamiGuildner.com/ignite and grab a ticket. Where I want to go next with you guys is where can people learn more about you and your work? Where can they connect with you and where can they learn more about the beautiful work that you're doing?
Yeah, so we have a website, presariogroup.com, and all of our socials are the same, Presario Group. So at Presario Group on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn,
YouTube,
all the things. So, yep.
Awesome. And then they can connect with you guys on socials individually as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jess and I don't get hurt if somebody would rather talk to her or rather talk to me. We don't care because we understand that our styles are a little bit different and we just love being able to connect.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then the final question I always close with is I usually do 3 pearls of wisdom, but what I'm going to do is have each one of you do a pearl of wisdom. So, what's a pearl of wisdom that you'd like to leave with us today?
So what immediately comes to mind for women listening is you're exactly where you're meant to be. And one of the tenets of the work that Michelle and I do together is there's nothing wrong with you. Mm-hmm. There's nothing missing. There's nothing broken. And you can love who you are right now and still be evolving into who you're going to be. And just remembering that, like, you're uniquely you. I get goosebumps just thinking about each one of us is a miracle. And just remembering that every single day in the hard moments when, you're on the struggle bus, maybe I'm driving, maybe not, but just remembering, like, you're a miracle and there's nothing wrong with you.
Beautiful. Michelle?
Yeah, I love that. I'll go back to what would you love? From a perspective of, tapping into the miracle that you are, each and every one of us has been called in this universe with a gift that only each of us, only you can provide. And if you were to ask yourself, what would I love? Every step of the way, it'll give you insight into that giftedness, insight into your next step, insight into your fulfillment, and really what brings you joy. And to go do that in the world, because what this world needs is more joy, more women who are alive and vibrant and living a life that they love.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's so awesome. And I so agree. It's like tapping into the joy is what's going to, if we're all walking in our joy and following who we're being called to be and how we're being called to serve, we are creating a big difference in the world. Mm-hmm. And I see the two of you creating ripples and waves of impact with your clients, with the women that are lucky enough to get to call you, to be able to be a part of your community. So congratulations to you both. And I am so excited to have you both at Ignite. It's going to be amazing this year. And we've got such a beautiful lineup of speakers. We're running the series of all of our speakers here over the course of this month. So definitely be tuning in and come join us. We are at camiguildner.com/ignite. And I want to thank you both for joining us today. Jessica and Michelle, it's awesome seeing you and having you here on Extraordinary Women Radio.
Such an honor. Thank you, Cami. And we hope to see everyone listening at Ignite. It's an event that you should be at for sure.
Because you'll get poured into in a way that is extraordinary.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you both. And thank you everyone for tuning in today. Till next time.